Okay, Jimmy, next up we have Robin Nuffer from Mesa, Idaho, and her dog Wizz. Robin's an NCA director and has been really instrumental in getting this horseback program off the ground. And she had a score of 275 cumulative points coming through the 2 preliminary runs. So she's in pretty good shape here coming into the horseback final. Let's see what she and Wizz can do.
Robin comes from a long background of cattle work, livestock work, and horse work.
So she does a lot of day work and trains a lot of dogs and works on a lot of ranches up there in Idaho.
So I know she's right at home working her dog this way. Wizz made a real nice outrun, picking the cattle up. They did come off the hill a little fast, but she slowed him down a little bit to see if we can't get them to group up again.
It's good work by Wizz to see that heifer that had crossed down below that irrigation ditch and get her to regroup up with the rest of the bunch. Sometimes those dogs will see that irrigation ditch as kind of a mental or visual barrier, and when the cattle cross there, they won't see what's on the other side if the dog isn't positioned right. But they did a good job of that.
These cattle are on the move, and I really can't fault Wizz for it.
No, they just came out kind of wanting to go somewhere.
Yep.
But Wizz is showing that he's not willing to, or he's not afraid to get up in front of him and turn him around. There's plenty of power in that dog.
If that was perfect, that's exactly what she needed from Wizz right there.
Exactly, and there goes Robin on her nice buckskin horse headed up the hill.
That's a postcard right there.
That is, it's a pretty picture. And putting Wizz in the position to have him pushing the cattle up the hill. Robin kind of out in their eye behind them on their flank, kind of holding them up against that fence and letting the dog provide the push, and her kind of riding out there holding things together and keeping the cattle against the fence.
Real good control. You notice every once in a while she just lays him down, lets those cattle feel a little bit of relief. But right there, cattle had stopped. She asked for a little push. Wizz was quick to oblige. Outstanding job.
Exactly right. You know, like we were talking about earlier, if you handle your cattle right, they should get better as your run goes on. And it isn't so much as when you put pressure on, but how you take the pressure off. And she and Wizz did a nice job there, taking the pressure off the cattle, let them feel like they're escaping, and then putting a little more pressure on and getting them to go the right direction. So Robin as well, electing to take the bottom side of this obstacle and hold the bottom, while she kind of sends Wizz up to tip them down the hill. They push down the hill a lot easier than they push up. So when they're going uphill, she and Wizz work as a team, and when they go downhill, she's sending Wizz up to kind of tip them downhill, and she's there to slow them down, and Wizz comes down to help her and turn them. Here.
One more to go.
Yep, Wizz does a nice job tipping those in. And there they clear that line between those fetch panels below and the west side of that last weave panel.
Good save by Wizz there.
It is a nice save by Wizz, and Robin's having to work fairly hard on the side of that hill to keep her hat on. You can tell it's pretty windy out there. She's got her hand on her head a lot to keep her hat from taking off on her. Robin's been real successful so far keeping her horse in a walk. I'd say she wants to keep every point she's got and keep that 5 points. It's probably going to take something some kind of an emergency to get her to break that horse out of a walk into a trot and lose those 5 points.
You know, I'm a little surprised right here, the way those cattle came off the lift and were trying to come down the side of that hill pretty rank. But here they had another opportunity to break, but I think it's a testament to the way they've been handling them since they picked them up down at the bottom and started their drive.
Exactly right. She's got everything grouped here, and I think the key to that was getting that dog down on the bottom side of those cattle before they came off that berm. You know, if those cattle would have been another 10 feet down the hill, they probably would have sped up. But she got Wizz down there in front of him before those cattle got off that berm.
So right now she's looking at full points.
It's been the cleanest run we've seen so far, and really the difference has been the way she handled that set of freestanding panels after she completed that weave. She's been the only one to keep her cattle under control and slowed down and put all 5 head through those panels.
Now it looks like she's saying, well, since we're here in the middle of the field, let's go ahead and do this box.
That's right, and you know, the way, like you've been saying, the way that Wizz is able to turn those cattle and keep them from going to the exhaust gate. Those cattle haven't been closer than about 20 yards to that exhaust gate yet. And so the more that they keep being turned, the easier they are to turn. And here she's doing a real nice job of just tipping those cattle in, keeping Wizz in a spot that kind of tips them in there and holds that other exit, and kind of curling those cattle around herself. So there she gets through that open box with full points. So this is Robin and Wizz having a really nice run here.
I think something that you mentioned a while ago is really showing up the deeper we get into the run, and that is not so much how much pressure she's putting on the cattle, but how and when she's taking the pressure off the cattle. I think going through that box there was a good example of that, because the cattle went in quiet and they turned and went through the high point exit. Exactly. Without any fuss and without a lot of work by her or her dog, because she had set it up that way by taking the pressure off.
Exactly right. And she kind of, you know, set it up to make what she wanted to happen to be the easy thing, and she really didn't have to push it. She just kind of took the other alternatives away and just let the cattle make up their own mind. And when it's the cow's idea, it's usually best. If you can make it their idea and make them think it's their idea, then things usually go pretty well, and that's definitely what's happening for Robin here. It is.
Someone else said it, but make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard.
That's right, and that's pretty true whether you're working with horses or dogs or cattle. And Robin's showing some really nice horse work. Got that big buckskin into that alley, and didn't even have to pull him out. Got that heifer to slide right by her. She's got her horseback in the alley again, backing him up a little bit, giving a calf a room. But you can't give him too big of a hole. Steps up in there just at the right time to cut the next one off, so that she only gets one head out that side exit at a time. Curls him around, and I think that's about the cleanest, quickest work out of that sort that we've seen.
And it makes for a quick exhaust too, and although total possible points is probably going to win or lose this, total time can play a role in the final results.
It can. We've got more runs to go, and so she has definitely made the most efficient use of the course.
Exactly.
She hasn't spent much time going to one obstacle or another. She's hit them all kind of in order as she went around.
So how many points do you think she's got here?
I'm pretty sure that unless she trotted somewhere that I missed, that she should have 335 points and a full point score to conclude her horseback finals run.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Walker, and we're at the Flying Diamond Ranch in beautiful Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where the newly formed National Cattledog Association is hosting the 2013 National Cattledog Finals. We're currently in our finals for our horseback division, and I'm with Robin Nuffer of Mesa, Idaho, and her dog Wizz. They just scored a perfect score on a very difficult course. Robin, can you tell us some of the principles that made that perfect score happen?
The principles are good foundation on your dog, and good foundation is where it all starts, and a lot of work on the ranch and experience daily with cattle, and those dogs really get to know the cattle and what to do, so that's what helped out a lot out there.
Now, you say experience on the ranch. We've kind of put together a simulation here, and we're playing a game with dogs and horses and cattle, but do you use Wizz on the ranch quite a bit?
Yes, and the obstacles that we have out here, we try to have them modify specific things that we do in ranching, such as the sort, moving in cattle in and out of the alley, putting them in a pen. like the weave where you might have to go around through timber, and so we just try to put together obstacles of things that we try to do at the ranch.
Now, this horseback class, to my knowledge, the national competition that was created by the National Cattledog Association is the first nationwide competition where people are coming from all parts of the U.S. to compete head-to-head. And I know for a fact that you had a lot to do with this getting started. Could you give us a little bit of the history of putting this together?
Yeah, when I was first asked to be a director, everyone in different parts of the country moved cattle in different ways, on foot, on horse, four-wheeler. It's always been a dream of mine to have something like this where it's a national finals, to where we could incorporate the horse and the dog and the handler all as one, as teamwork, partnership out there. And we brought it to the board, and we all agreed that we needed this class so that we could pull in all the things that we do in the West and all sorts of the country that we use our horse in on the ranch, and doing things such as this, the games that we play here. So it's a lot of fun.
And was the response what you'd hoped it to be, and the results what you'd hoped them to be?
Yes, we got a lot of people here from all over the states. I think that it's going to grow and be a really big thing, and I'm happy to be part of that first step.
Well, Robin, we appreciate very much the work you did on putting this together, because the National Cattledog Association is trying to reach out to all aspects of working livestock, particularly cattle, and in all styles and people at all levels. So we thank you very much for the work you've done here, and again, congratulations on that perfect score. Hopefully it'll hold up and give you the results you're looking for.
Thank you, Jimmy, and you as well.
Thank you.